My name is Kristina Tarud, and I am the Managing Director of LatBAN. And you are here because we are having LatBAN and LIAA joint investment sessions where we have invited selected startups to pitch to investors here on site and also online from everywhere in Europe. Somebody is still stuck in Slush in Finland, maybe in Albania, I don't know. But the rest are here and very tentatively waiting for performance of startups to pitch. I wanted to say also a few words about how we are actually doing, because LatBAN is also growing and changing a little bit its position value, right? I actually try to approach it like a startup myself. I think that you have to always innovate and you have to always give extra value to people. And any organization is an NGO is all about people, right? About the values, it's giving, it's about networking, it's about giving them excitement, giving them some new dreams, giving them a little bit more education, giving them more contacts. Maybe a little bit of so far to think about. So far, we have had also a lot of new members joining, and I would just like to highlight who and from where are these new members. We have Matiss, who joined as a private angel investor. We have Dennis Sharuk, who's not yet here. Oh, you are here? So you can see that so far. So proud of today. We have David Sixnats from Rogan Group, our first unicorn. Not here today, but with us in his heart. We have Victor Baron from LIAA. We have Igors from Signet Bank. We have Dima Mikhailov from Tidal Labs. We have also Pavel Tsarkov. Nice to see you speak. We have Matiss from Orion Securities and others that we process, also screening for investors and due diligence. And without further ado, I'd like to also invite our chairman of the board, Igors, to open this event.
Thank you, Christine, so much. I promise to keep it very brief. First of all, thank you all for attending here. Thank you, startup founders. You are the most important reason that we are all here today. But our special guest for this meeting will be announced a bit later. Let me start with a different one. Online today we have 4 venture capital funds managers. They will have a chance to briefly introduce themselves a bit later. And also, once again, at least 3 fund managers who are attending our gathering today in person. And the keynote speaker, our good friend from Finland, Oulu, Juha, Butterfly Ventures. Round of applause. Some words about you, Johan.
First of all, I'm very glad to be on stage and meeting you all. Butterfly Ventures is one of the, if not the leading, deep tech-oriented seed entry VC in the Nordics. Over the last 10 years, we've invested over 80 companies, predominantly in deep tech hardware. We're one of the few that are not afraid of this segment in the Nordics. We are investing across the Nordics and Baltics. As said, we do lots of collaboration, for example, different tech universities, tech transfer offices, and run this science venture program, which is a kind of a masterclass for aspiring science entrepreneurs. And so far, we've made 11 positive exits, though most of the companies, the best companies still in the portfolio. Average IRR of those exits above 50% and multiple above 8. If we look at the kind of a megatrends that we are following today we are particularly interested in anything that deals with the climate crisis and the transition from the fossil fuels to the clean energy. That's roughly a third of the deal flow will be. That's roughly third of the deal flow everything else kind of resource business and that sort of thing. Another third is more on the kind of a medical tech side. We do everything else except class-free medical devices and treatments. And the remaining third is everything else. I mean, we are industry agnostic. It's more important the stage and the region where the company is coming from, and the fact that the company has some kind of a solid technological and science background. I guess that's the kind of a most important part. Maybe one more thing. Yeah, we have offices in Finland, Helsinki, and Oulu. Stockholm in Sweden, Copenhagen, Denmark, and then Tallinn, Estonia. As said, very pleased to be here. If you have any questions, more than happy to answer any of them. That this applies both to investors and startups. Thanks.
So now I want to give a microphone for our online fellows.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Right. So my name is Krutikovs. I'm from Ivars Capital. So we are a Delaware-based venture fund, and I'm based in Cyprus. You know, as a southern person, you know, I'm smiling, and I can see that you guys, most of you are from the north, so you are very serious, right? So. Couple of words about my fund. So we have started in 2022. We are focusing on prop tech, venture tech, health tech, and a little bit on mobility. About half our investments, they are sort of connected by a common thread of sharing economy. So we love all the startups which can use a resource more efficiently in a sharing way, be it an automobile, an apartment, a vacuum cleaner, or things like that. So we are typically aiming at investing in pre-seed, seed, and LIAA stage type of stories. And our checks are quite modest. Maybe for some of you, some of startups, they're quite huge, but it's modest. It's 50 to 150K. That's it, I think. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Vlad. Who's next? Please unmute yourself and do this brief selfie.
I can go next. So my name is Igors. I'm from InVenture. We are based in Helsinki, and we invest in Baltics and Scandinavia mainly, but there are some few exceptions sometimes as well. We invest in different industries, mainly from SaaS to B2B, B2C, and also deep tech. And recently we closed our fourth investment fund of 150 million. And I guess that's it. Thank you.
Okay, so I can go next. Hello, my name is Jana. I'm from Lithuania, from Vilnius, and just last week we have launched our first big fund, the 20 million early stage fund, which is focusing on the Baltic tech founders. Previously, I have invested in 50 companies with a previous fund, among those Jeff App from Latvia, so that's like probably something that you could relate to, and quite a lot of other fintechs like Kevin, for example, and Data. And yeah, now we are looking to invest into Baltic founders, something from around 100 to $500,000K, and we'll be very happy to hear something from you.
Who's next?
Right. Hi, everyone. I represent Orion Security. So we have an employee fund from Lithuania, which is Orion Ventures, and it was established in 2021. And when evaluating startups, we draw on our experience in corporate finance and investing, which we have accumulated over nearly 30 years of operations. So our experienced team thoroughly evaluates all financial indicators and takes the time to analyze the market and dig deep into the startups plan. So from the very first conversations with the startups, we realized that our financial expertise as an investment bank can be very useful in advising young entrepreneurs. So not only do we invest in startups, but we also make sure they perform well. So we will spend additional time in providing financial advice to the selected startups. And we are very diversified in our targets, so it can be anything from software to biotechnology. So we're looking for ambitious teams and companies with a strong background in technology, and we would like to work with them and invest in them. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I hope
Okay, I'm next. I'm Dima from Tidal Wave. We are UK-based deep tech fund with office in Lithuania and in Bay Area. We invest all over the world, especially in UK and in California. But now we are looking for some Baltic entrepreneurs, and we are trying to invest in Eastern Europe. We are a research-based deep tech fund with a huge expertise in mathematics, mechanics, and quantum computing. Our focus is zero emission and new energy, robotics, and real-life AI implementation. Water treatment and air treatment, something like that. Feel free to ask questions if you need some expertise in this field.
Thank you. I think we are done with self-presentations of inviting guests from venture capital funds. So, Christine, should we start our pitch?
Yes, I'm dying here to start the pitches. No, but I'm actually very excited, and I'm very happy that the investors are joining us also online, because this is the way to go. You know, you should not allow anything to stop you, and you should be always informed about things that are going on in the Baltic region. I would like to ask on the stage the first startup, because I really believe in them to come first and just smash it with a loud voice, I hope. Sapropel Organics, Igors Maruško.
I will try to find my voice in the correct level.
Yes. Could you use the clicker?
Speak loud. Hello everyone, my name is Igor and I'm representing company Sapropel Organics. We are working in the field of agriculture. Nowadays, agriculture is facing extreme challenges due to intensive agricultural practices, soil degradation, high prices, and lack of mineral fertilizers. The company produces a complex blend which contains more than 40 natural origin elements, which increase assimilation of mineral fertilizers by at least 25%, restores soil, and prevents soil degradation. Our business model is B2B model, so basically we sell product to local dealers, and local dealers supply products to local farmers, retailers, and government. For example, and for showing off, our product is listed in World Bank program, which is targeted to population return in rural territories. Next. Total available market is just huge. Our beachhead market is biostimulants market of Africa, USA, and Europe. During the last 2 years, company sold product for 775,000 euros. So in other words, our sales reached a level of 775,000 euros. At the moment, company registered product in 7 new markets, and estimated sales for the year 2023 is 900,000 euros. The source of our success is unique raw material and production technology. Raw material, what we use is freshwater lake sediment, so-called sapropel. Sapropel decomposed in anaerobic condition more than 10,000 years. Developed technology allows us to treat sapropel under temperature below 39 Celsius. It keeps all ingredients in active form. At the moment on the market are a company who can do the same. Yeah. Our basic competitive advantages is complex impact, content, and reduction of fertilization budget. We have full established team which work together more than 5 years. We know how to make a science, how to produce, and how to sell. Next development stage requires investments in full-scale production facilities, packaging, and investments in raw material extraction and licensing. Investments in our company reach 400,000 euro in year 2021, 180,000 of which was owner's money. Next development stage requires 1.5 million euros, which can be invested in 3 iterations. Those investments will allow company to achieve sales in volume 2 million in the year 2025, and will allows us to reach company value for 65 million euros in the year 2026. Yeah. So basically, thank you for your attention, and I'm ready to answer your questions. You have a question, please?
Right? Yes. Thank you, sir. Can I have two questions, please? Thank you very much for your presentation. First question is technical. Is basically my understanding is that that's a very good product in process, but my understanding, I might be wrong, please correct me. So that when you extract that, say with the wetlands and rocks, you release quite an amount of carbon dioxide.
From one point of view, yes, but from other point of view, we restore natural freshwater resources because we prevent lakes from drying, first of all, and we completely restore lakes biota, so basically fish, ducks, and so on. So from one point of view, yes, we release something, but from other point of view, we're doing important job to make fresh water available in a longer period of time and restoring lakes better.
Have you used some kind of calculator? Because you understand it's an important question because everybody's fighting for every ton of carbon dioxide right now. Have you have some kind of calculator?
There is some calculation in the University of Latvia. I'm not familiar to name those, but Sapropel is listed in European Union regulation as a product which can be used in organic farming. It means that the European Commission understands Sapropel as a sustainable resource.
Okay. Still will be good to see because I really like the product. Second question. Sales. Product, as you said, is quite known in Europe already and in the world. How are you going to organize your sales? Because I guess you link to some specific location. It's directed from a specific place. Right?
All sales what we make we deliver from towns, from LIAA, and we're producing here, shipping in Lithuania, and delivering products to our dealers by the ships.
So you sell to dealers worldwide? How you organize yourself?
Yes, sell just by our dealers, just by our product, and so after that we just help them with technical sales. So basically we visit them at least once a year, and we have approximately 3-4 education trainings during the year.
Thank you.
A little bit, I'd like to understand the competitive landscape a little bit clearer. First of all, do you have any hard IP either on the kind of a product or substance itself or the production side of things? Hard IP meaning patents or something that you can kind of...
Our technology is patentable, but at the moment we decided not to do it.
So see, more like secret sauce. Thanks. What about the unit economics? What kind of margins we are talking about here?
It is a question for next round of discussion, but with I hope with you also. But for your understanding, we had 220,000 loan, and we are covered it in year 2021 during first year of sales.
Finally, if we go kind of and look again the kind of competitive landscape, what would be the next best thing, you know, if this wouldn't be available, and why this is better than the next best thing?
Next things will be better as it is because I figured out how to do it. So next best things what the agriculture market will see will come from me.
Yeah, but you know, before you know, existing alternatives.
At the moment, best good thing, but which isn't available in a large amount, it is so-called vermiculite or vermicompost, and extracts from vermicompost. From input point of view, from economical point of view, at the moment most popular is the seaweeds extract, but basically it is just a fraud, because they mentioned that they contain some active ingredients, but they can't contain them because of nature.
Basically, they don't work that good.
They also work, all products work. It depends from which impacts better and which make all economy better. So it's not a question about yield impact. It is a question about impact all systems. So it is soil management, it is a fertilization budget, it is how many times you should go through the land, and so on and so on and so on. Yes.
I have quick 2 questions. You mentioned about that the yield is not important, which I don't agree completely, because your clients, they're buying it for a yield. So have you been track recording what is their yield after using your product?
Average increase of the yield at least 15%. And now I don't tell that it is not important. As I told that it is not only one thing which is important. So our impact at least 15%, but impact on all economy, it is a cost reduction by at least 20%. So it is, so in the end of the all, we should look on a profit, because farmers calculate like a cost per hectare and incomes from hectare. And mineral fertilizers can reach bigger income anymore because their physical chemical potential is reached. So second question.
Almost true. Second question is, have you been thinking about doing the extracts in other parts of the world by not dragging it all through the planet?
Problem is that this raw material is specific for Baltic region, Russia, and Ukraine. At the moment, we subsidize Ukraine suppliers, for example, in Saudi Arabia. But raw material is specific for Baltic states. It is Lithuania and Latvia. Also Belarus, but there's some issues.
So basically, you won't find Sapropel in neither in Brazil nor in Congo jungle?
No. Yes?
What deposits, available deposits of the raw material you have expect?
It will enough for next 300 years.
I mean, the particular company and
We buy it. We don't extract it at the moment. And that supplier has a deposit for next 10 years. According to current production volumes.
Maybe I can add a little bit, because we had a conversation before to Igors. I'm asking them to pitch to me, like a quality assurance person, before they pitch to you, and he actually said it's very good for the lakes and the rivers, because as you collect Sapropel, you're also cleaning these lakes and rivers, which means that more natural fauna can live there, which means you can have more fertile, actually, fish lakes there, right? So that's why he's saying that they are continuously coming back, and actually he's co-founder is still in Saudi Arabia.
Yes, it's still in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, so they are having a lot of expansion plans. They are signing new places for the contact base. They are already selling in Africa, which is a very good region to sell these kind of things. They are going to Asia, and then they're also going to the American side. I didn't know how.
Yes, we have a dealer, new dealer in the state of Virginia, which will achieve only certificate after approximately 4 months. We're selling in Zimbabwe, in Cote d'Ivoire, in Botswana, in Burkina Faso, and in Benin. We started the registration process and will receive import licensing in Kenya this Friday. We sell also in Europe, so basically it's Ireland, UK, and Spain.
What are monthly sales? Monthly sales per month, how much?
It is by season.
By season.
At least 2 containers.
In euros.
In euros? Good. It is a question for next conversation.
Okay, we have online questions from Ulri's tabs. Ulri, unmute yourself and ask the question.
Yeah, thank you, Christina. I don't know if you can hear me. Well, thank you for a very interesting presentation and very impressive range of markets to which you already sell the product. My question is about the regulatory approvals. So I think in your time scale, you showed that the necessary regulatory approvals will be obtained year 2025. So my question is, can you continue to operate without them at the moment? And what is the basis of operating in the moment? And do you envisage any difficulties in obtaining the necessary approvals for extraction of natural resources from the 2 Baltic states to the extent required for your business? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. So at the moment, get the license, it is a quite easy process, but it takes approximately 4-6 months. It requires taking samples from the lake, making an extraction project, and basically it is. And at the moment, we don't see any troubles in perspective.
Well, I want to say thank you to Igors.
Thank you.
We join us virtually, Matiss, Brunavs from Squad Robotics.
You should be able to hear me as well, right?
We also hear you very well, loud and clear.
Perfect.
Whenever you're ready, you can start your pitch.
Thanks, Christine, by the way, just thanks for organizing this because, it's nice that you accommodate me. But so let's get to it. My name is Matiss, and my company, Squad Robotics, has created the autopilot. Think about the autopilot in the same way you think about a plane. What is the one that flies the plane the most of the time? The autopilot. In self-driving cars, there's an American company called Cruise, is the software for the self-driving cars. We are doing the autopilot for mobile robots, and our entry point is the cleaning industry. And there's no denying that the cleaning companies will move from money that they spend on wages towards money that they spend on wages and robots. In our estimation, we currently see that the cleaning companies will shift the 7 billion euros spent in wages. They will shift it towards spending it on both wages and robots. And for robot proportion, we see that this is approximately 40% of the market. So this means that this market has come up. You have to buy, in order to buy the piece of it, you have to create robots. And there's basically 2 ways how you can do that. So one is to build it from scratch, and the second one is to partner with a manual machine manufacturer. It's the hard way and, of course, the scalable way, which we are on. So if you build it from scratch, what you have to do is you have to design and build the cleaning machine itself, all the cleaning mechanisms, everything else. You also have to deploy place the sensors. You have to develop the robot software. We have to do the robot software as well. We have to place the sensors as well. But what we're building is we're building the brain component and adding it to the existing cleaning machines so that the manufacturers can focus on what they do best, build cleaning machines. So this is the first difference. The second difference is that if you build it from scratch, you actually have to manufacture it from scratch. establishing all the supply chains, all the maintenance channels, and everything that you have in order to manufacture and sell them is a pretty big task. On our side, we're not doing that. The manufacturers are the ones who are manufacturing these machines, and we are licensing our brain component to them. These are the two manufacturers that we're currently working with, Stolzenberg and Columbus. They're number 8 and number 9 in terms of production capacity in Europe. They produce approximately 30,000 machines, and we have been working with them for 3.5 years, basically. We built the first proof of concept. Then last year, we finished our prototype, which we already gave to the cleaning companies, figured out what we need to do now to roll out products. And now we have a contract in place with these two big guys about rollout of their products, of robots on their machines as products. And we're working with cleaning companies and facility owners in the Baltics currently to roll them out. So Hagberg, Visi in Latvia, I'm still looking that Civinity will be my big partner in Lithuania. Stel is the largest cleaning company in Estonia. They're also our investors. And with these guys, we're rolling out those robots. And this is how the robot looks like. It consists basically of a couple of components, you know, the mechanics, the components there, you have to place the sensors, but this is everything that is going to be done by the cleaning machine manufacturer. What is the autopilot? In essence, it's an electronics PCB board and the computer that runs our operating system. So this is what we build. This is the autopilot. Why the autopilot is an interesting concept? Because this is where our scalability comes from. The same autopilot that we are rolling out for Stolzenberg robots is exactly the same robot that autopilot that we're rolling out for Columbus robots. Stolzenberg creates dry cleaning machines. Columbus creates wet cleaning machines. Technology is the same. It's going to be the same autopilot that we're going to roll out with the next manufacturers. This is our entry product, very simple tracking device for cleaning companies. You track manual cleaning machines, and what you get is data. This allows, in essence, what it allows me to do is lock in the cleaning companies to roll out robots. Because if you have information about your manual processes, you see a heat map, how the cleaning has been done. We can say that this is going to be exactly replicated by the person. It's not an emotional decision anymore to hire a robot. It's based in data. And I look at this as basically my lock-in, like my sales department to roll out more and more robots. What are we doing? So in this month, actually, today are the first 2 robots that rolled out to Valmieras Stiklišķiedras fabrika. We're rolling out 10 robots until the end of the year and 5 more robots next year. They're going to go in the hands of the cleaning companies and facility owners, and they are rolled out at the logic with the robot as a service. So 10 euros per hour. This is the pricing point which cleaning companies say that if you can provide the robot, it's more financially viable to hire a robot than a person. So this is our pricing point, and with this pricing point, we're rolling out 15 robots that start to generate revenues from next year. We're rolling them out now, 1 month of free trial for the cleaning companies, and then the counter starts. My pipeline currently consists of 30 plus cleaning companies in Western Europe that are willing to go and roll out our robots. Why Western Europe? Because the pricing point is twice as high. If the minimum wage in Latvia is 10 euros per hour expense, in Western European, this is 20 euros per hour. So I have a bunch of cleaning companies willing to onboard my products, and 5 more manufacturers that I'm currently discussing licensing deals for autopilot. My previous to last slide regarding team. My team has grown significantly since May, when you see us here in the big expo, where I generated all that pipeline. We have grown from 13 to 23, I think now. And what we have managed to hire are people who have built products. We built ourselves, with this team here, we built it to the prototype level, but now we have hired guys from UAV Factory, from Ironis, from Atlas Dynamics, the guys who have built products. And this is the team that we are rolling forward with. And my final slide is regarding the fundraise. Currently, I'm finalizing the pre-seed round extension that we got in March this year. The round was led by Iron Wolf Capital. It included some participants from the UAV Factory founder and CEO, some LatBAN members, and what the money was used for was to hire the team and roll out the new products. And now that we have now that we are rolling out the products, we are raising this extension of the round. I can be very, very clear about this. We have managed to complete the fundraise. We are now finalizing all the deals. This is my last presentation, basically, because we are going to have an oversubscription for the round. And the logic of this fundraise is that we roll out products, we showcase the technology and showcase the business model and everything, and we are going to get to the next logical financing stage for our company, which is the seed round, which we need to raise next year. And this seed round is going to be based on 3 pillars: to extend our partnerships with Stolzenberg Columbus, roll out 100 robots in Baltics and Western Europe, and to sign the deals with the new manufacturers. From my side, this is it. Squad Robotics, autopilot for industrial mobile robots. Let's get to back this. Thank you.
Thank you, Matiss, for your presentation. I like that there's a twist in all of this, because he has kind of like already finished his round, but he's already raising for the next one. So I think it's a very effective startup. I mean, if you can plan so much in front and say, you know, I don't need no money. It's like, I came here because Christine asked me to. So it's like, bring your payment, but I am accepting money for the next one. So I think this is it's a good position for a startup to be in. I think it's also important for the investors to be in. We start with the questions from people on site, and then I'm also going to read out loud questions which are in the chat, so we know which is going, in which sequence we are going with the questions. So, you go.
Yeah, I kind of lost it, what came to the business model. You said that there is a licensing model, and then you were talking also a bit about this hourly robot as a service business model. So which one it actually is, and how do you kind of, you get the 10 euros, or the cleaning company gets the 10 euro, part of 10 euros? What's kind of what exactly is the business model? Where does the kind of draw is the line between the kind of a licensing and the robot as a service?
Thank you for your question. This is a very valid one, and this allows me to extend my presentation in a way. So what we're talking here is about 2 different time frames. So the long-term time frame and short-term time frame. So in the long run, what we're doing is we're licensing the autopilot to the machine manufacturers. So our long-run business model is that this board is inbuilt into the machine. The cleaning machine manufacturer sells it, well, rents it out to their customers, and we have a revenue sharing system in place with them. So we get a part of the 10 euros per hour, well, 20 euros in Western Europe. We get a part of this, but it's the manufacturer who's selling this. So this is in the long run. In the short run, we're rolling robots ourselves out because we need to generate revenues. We need to validate the technology. So therefore, in the short run, we are rolling robots out ourselves. So we are the ones who are maintaining them. We are the ones who are deploying them and dealing with all of the hassle there is. In this case, we are the ones who are receiving the 10 euros per hour. Part of that 10 euros is paid back to the manufacturer for the machine, because at this stage in the short run, we are putting the components together and we're putting the robots together, and they're just providing the machine. But as I said, short run, we are getting the 10 euros and sharing it. Long run, they are getting the 20 euros and sharing it with us.
Another topic that we didn't touch, kind of, in my opinion, fully, is again the competitive landscape. Okay, there were this kind of, okay, the cleaning device manufacturers versus this type of an approach that someone does the kind of a brain and the sensoring required. There aren't any other players in kind of this brain side. You're kind of a direct competitors, or yeah. If there are, why you are better?
There was I actually had an interesting conversation today, having the same question. So in my presentation 1 month ago, there used to be 3 logos here. It was BrainCorp, it was Squad Robotics, and it was a company called Enway. So that was the 3rd competitor that was working with manufacturers. 1 month ago, this company Enway was acquired by one of their partner manufacturers that they were working with. Some of the Latvians may know this company. It's called Bucher Municipal. These guys make big cleaning machines for street cleaning purposes. So there used to be, let's say, more companies here. In principle, there are these 2 directions that the cleaning, the robot manufacturers are going for. So these startups usually are the ones who are doing it from scratch. Companies like us, we're focusing on partnering with manufacturers. if you're asking me, 3 competitors is, previously that we had was already quite a saturated market. But the reason why why there are no more competitors than the ones that we are working is that because most of the manufacturers are in this position where they're deciding between doing it themselves, which they just unfortunately cannot afford, or partnering with some provider of these brains. There are, let's say, a couple of other brain providers like us, but one of them has an exclusive agreement with one of the manufacturers, so I'm not counting on them as our competitors. They're tied to their manufacturer. That would be the third, let's say, the fourth company that would be in this on the right side. But since they're not there, they're exclusive, I don't count them. Since the second competitor was acquired 1 month ago, I don't count them. So at this moment, the situation is like this. There's 2 guys who provide their brains to machine manufacturers.
And why you are better?
Why we are better? So this comes down to different principles of how we do our technology. Of course, there's a technological difference, and there's the business model difference. So if we're talking about from technology perspective, so this is about nuances, because when you're talking about these brains of these robots, the software for these guys is relatively similar to the software of BrainCorp, is relatively similar to software of our company. But it's about these nuances, how we build that software and what the architecture behind the software is like. So for us, it's all about modularity and ability to have the same software running on multiple manufacturers' machines. So again, BrainCorp has a similar approach. From technological perspective, it's about using the right ROS modules that are the standard for robot operating systems. It's about using giving the ability for one robot to be part of, let's say, a bigger swarm of robots, which we have inbuilt as our, let's say, programming DNA. But these are nuances. So let's say, honestly, from technical perspective, there's not an extreme amount of difference. But this difference comes back from the business perspective and how we understand the market and how we work with the manufacturers. This is a completely unique concept in the market. When we showcased this in our expo in May, it was a complete sensation because nobody had done anything that would be able to track the machines of the manual machines, at a cost that is reasonable. But we're looking at this even further, that this solves the need of the cleaning companies. But for me, it acts as my sales department, but it also generates a lot of data. And this data is generated by camera, and this data later is used in our robot software development because we get more environment maps, we get more edge case data, we get information that we can afterwards use in order to develop products better. So this is the concept, is that we understand very well what the market needs from the end user perspective. We have intro and introductory products that help the cleaning companies, help us sell more robots, and help us develop tech better. So this is why, let's say, there's a big difference is the understanding of the market and how we approach these with the cleaning machine manufacturers.
I have a quick one. Apparently, you will be making your product not just for cleaning robots, right? And,
naturally.
Yeah. And when do you think, and which is the next segment you want to build up your stuff?
So first of all, thank you for the question. My goal at this stage is to establish a strong space in the cleaning industry. So this is goal number 1. Currently, the manufacturers that we're working with, Columbus and Stolzenberg, they all have approximately 4.5% of the production capacity in our industry. So those manufacturers are tied to us from a technological perspective. If I close the manufacturers in my pipeline, I can get up to nearly 15 to 20% of the production capacity would be tied to my technology. So this is immediately lets me establish a space in the cleaning industry, making me an interesting target for potential acquisition for BrainCorp, who wants to consolidate the market, or for private equity fund that likes high margin products like brain components and licensing models. So at first I want to establish a strong space in the cleaning industry. But of course, we have to look forward. And this is about the vision that we're building here. So when we're looking at this, think of a similar approach that you have with the mobile phone. So you have what the Android is working for Samsung, it's working for, I don't know, Sony, it works for what else, LG phones. So what we're building is the operating system for different robots. So whether this is cleaning industry, whether this is warehousing or logistics industries, forklifts, or things that are moving like municipal cleaning equipment. I see that we have to move into the next directions, next verticals, and we're going to. If you're asking me which ones are the next ones, obviously this is warehousing and logistics, because there's a huge market. There's a lot of manufacturers that could be our potential customers and that could work with us. So this is the next vertical, but at this stage, most importantly, it's to establish a very strong position in the cleaning market.
Okay, thank you, Matiss. Next presenter, and I think we are having like a smooth transition because we're mentioning warehouses and staffing issues. Next presenter is going to be Stefan AIMY and Sander.
Thank you. Good segue.
Okay. Sander from Norway.
Yes, my name is Sander, and this is my child, AIMY, 4 years old now. We're originally from Norway, but we moved to Latvia, so I said. So we have kind of an ambitious goal, and that is to save the physical stores. And we are doing this by providing AI technology to physical stores. Like this physical store today, they have a gold mine of data that are not using properly. So they have data from the staff, the workforce management system, the customer counter, and the cash register. This, in addition to the weather and salaries, all this information is too much to handle on a daily basis for a shop manager. So what AIMY does is that we are collecting all this information and are applying AI on this, ideal for machine learning. And we can predict 15 months ahead an optimal staff plan for the physical store. So this is the occasion we have. Like the media is blowing this up and are predicting retail lab, physical store, that this is the end is near for the physical stores. And it is quite true. The physical store should be concerned because, as you see as this illustrated photo, like the online shopping has a 400% growth the last 20 years. While the physical store shopping has had a negative growth of -50%. So it is quite dramatic, but we shouldn't rule them out yet. Physical store still has 94% of the full market. So they are the biggest player by a long shot. So if we count that as sales, they account for 22% millions of the global sales today. So it's a big market, and they are desperate not to lose any more market shares. So we see that they are very acceptable to apply new technology today. So the AI buzzword, we're thrown in the door now, out the door. So we have Sapropel as a customer today. That's the biggest sports chain in the Nordics. They're using AIMY at 90 warehouses in 4 countries on 6,000 employees. Some of the benefits they have, of course, it is they save time on staff planning and save salary costs. But as I mentioned earlier, the biggest upside we see is increased sales by actually adding staff when we see a lot of traffic coming in the store. And when you think about it, it's very logical, because why do you go to a physical store? That's because you want to get service, you want to get the customer's experience, right? And some retailers or physical retailers are actually forgetting this, that the customer is their most valuable asset. And we can improve this, we see through analysis that on ActiveSell we are providing them with almost 500,000 extra customers a year. And this is a long-term investment because extra customers means more recurring customer next year. And it sounds kind of small, but we increased the customer happiness by 1.25%. But we are proud of that number because they have a very high customer satisfaction with over 90% already. So it's really hard to tweak. So obviously they are very happy, XXL, with our system. So they want to use more functionality and to exploit the system more. So that's one of the reasons why we are in Latvia now. That's because we are making 2 new portals to make this omnipresence within a retail hierarchy. So this is conferred through customers, and this would make AIMY the first of its kind again. And that's a good segue to our advantages. Like when I made a system for 4 years ago now, it was the first commercial of its kind. We got copycat by Silicon Valley, which I thought was a great compliment and a confirmation 2 years later. Competitors, AIMY is a supplement, not a replacement. So we can move much faster than our competitors, which I can go more deeply in later. I am from the business, and I sold to the business internationally for 9 years. So I have a broad network, and I also are in dialogue with some of the big players in physical stores. We have a proven method, so it's simple. We work with quantity, quality, and profitability. So we increase the number of sales, the volume of those sales, and we use machine learning to always keep this, to improve this. There isn't perfection, perfection is only improvement. That's what we're aiming for there. Team has 20 years of experience within business development. So we have 3 persons in the management now, and we have a strong developer team behind us. We are more or less going to double our customers for each year, ending up with approximately 1,500 stores by the end of 26. We are not dependent on investments. So I hear that's when you should ask about it. But it would be very great for us to keep our movers advantage. So we are asking for 180,000 euros for a 4.33% stake. Thank you.
Great. May I start with the main question? From let's say, examining your previous pitch deck, I understand that you are doing a kind of statistics, maybe predictive statistics, maybe you're doing some kind of regressions over the statistics data. What's the room for artificial intelligence here? Maybe what's your secret sauce? What is behind the simple statistical calculation that should be made to achieve the same goal?
We're using several approaches on that, and the technology in itself I should leave to my developer team, but we are using several methods to approach this, and we see when it comes to like predicting the visitors is the backbone of the whole system. So we have in a 3-month span, we have over 95% accuracy on that. So we have very predictable people, so to say, but the learning method in itself, I can't go into details now, I'm afraid.
Oh, great. Is it applicable for each and every store point that we can imagine? Or maybe your system has to be trained in this particular store point for 3 months just to get to this accuracy level?
That's very accurate. 3 months, that's the learning period we need for starters.
Thank you.
So, but it is like it's a kid. We have to put in the framework for each place, and it adapts individually to each warehouse as it does on XSL now. So, but from establishment, we need 3 months of learning before it's operational. And of course, the more data, the better. Like in this example, we have 10+ years of data, and that's very good for our model, of course.
More questions, maybe online? Lise, do you have questions?
Yeah, I can ask a question. So hi, I'm Jonna from First Pick. So yeah, it's an interesting story that you're coming more to the east, kind of from the west, with a startup. What exactly are you looking for in investors? Because the round that you're looking to raise, I think you might find quite a lot of potential ones. What exactly would you be looking for?
Mainly we are looking for, as I said, we need capital to make this extra boost, that we want not to keep this mover advantage that we have already. And of course, secondly, like the door opener that would give access to big retail, example-wise, would also be a good advantage. So someone with knowledge from our target market would be a great advantage.
I'd like to understand a little bit better the kind of a customer segment. What's the kind of a prime customer segment? I have understood that bigger players, these kind of a super large players, already have lots of AI in place. How do you see them versus the kind of a middle-sized, like maybe XSL is more on the middle-sized versus small-sized? Where the kind of largest opportunity your mind is?
We're aiming towards players like Inditex, for example. We're in dialogue with them. They have Massimo Dutti, Stradelinski, Pull&Bear. They have 120,000 employees. So that's one we are in dialogue with. As you were saying, they often have some AI technology already. And what we have today is more of the operational day-to-day day-to-day planning. But with these two new portals we're making, we would have an entry for the biggest retailers also, because we have more of the operational, the AIMY Predicts, as we call it now. But we're also making this financial portal called AIMY Visions, and we also will have a AIMY Performance that is more of the line management portal. So by having this predictable omnichannel within the whole retail hierarchy, I know we will be completely unique.
And the another question, what's the kind of a typical customer like in terms of the revenue or how does the kind of typical customer looks like financial point of view?
The thumb of rule is at least 8 employees, 8 stores.
Yeah, but how much money you're deriving from a typical customer?
Oh, how much we are deriving?
We
are going for a subscription model. So on average, we take 1,900 per warehouse a month. Euros.
1,900.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Per month.
I'm sorry, I said I'm missing 500 euros now. We're taking 190 euros per warehouse per month.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was the kroner.
So this 180K,
and that's
this 180K investment you want to develop those 2 portals, that's why you need the money?
That's the issue, but also we want to aggressively, we want to establish a bigger sale team also. So we can spread this throughout Europe, because these 2 new portals will have approximately 1 year of developing. And by then we should have a strong sales and marketing team behind us, because as I see it, we would have a completely unique product that we need to get out there.
So, and what's your revenue prediction for next year?
For next year, we will approximately be on 550K. Yeah, so that will be a double from this year. So we are aiming to get 3 new clients next year, and that would give us 150 stores, more or less. So, and this 190 euros, it's quite conservative actually, because we are getting, I can't say exactly, but we're getting close to that already from our customer. and now we will add 2 portals that would add revenue on top of that. So it wouldn't be too exaggerated to say that we could get 300 euros for this as a full package, all the 3 portals.
From a warehouse.
Yeah, correct. And we would have one entry model also, example-wise, to that the customer can sample and try, and they will see the synergetical value with these other portals. Because very roughly said, like this AIMY performance is more of increasing the quality of those sales. Like you should recommend to buy wax with no shoes, for example, if they buy skis and stuff. So we will measure that. So we will increase the volume of the sales, and with the AIMY predicts we have today, that increases the number of sales. So those are very synergetical. And once we got an entry with the retail customer, it's very easy for us to show them this added value we can give them.
Your target, I didn't hear that one. Isn't your target as well like big supermarket chains, like grocery store chains?
We are looking into it, but a big part of our value message is that we are increasing the conversion rate, like increasing the number of customers. And if you go into a grocery shop, you're a customer already. So, but there is potential when it comes to the planning, but we see also great potential in restaurants and hotels, airline business also.
Thank you. Thank you, Sander.
Thank you. Okay.
And the next one, startup that I want to invite to the stage is related to games and related to childhood and also grown-ups who don't want to leave childhood. If I may say so. So it's Ivars, Eglis and Mechcore Arena.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Igors.
You introduce yourself.
Yeah. Currently, I'm working on logistics, the basic job. The gaming development with my team is like hobby for us. For some guys, it's hobby, but it's like all the free time goes to that. And our project name is Mechcore Arena. It's a bot game with play-to-earn mechanism. So play to earn, I will explain a little bit. It's like players can play the game and earn some digital tokens. After each battle they won, the character earns some tokens, and after that, with implemented AI technology, those bots get a little bit smarter after each battle. We introduced the new concept with autoplay. The players can play the game without direct participating and playing it. It is because the streaming business is booming right now, and a lot of childs and grown-ups are watching how other people are playing the game, and we wanted to target that actually a little bit. But with AI technology, we can do it quite well. So the target market for all gamers, I know that you have played the games as well. It's a mobile and some PC games. The whole market is 1.7 billion players on the earth, and the crypto market is about 5.6 billion at this point. And the investors have invested about 4 billion in metaverse projects. That is a little bit of our project. So our competition. Yes. The basic difference is that we have AI technology, autoplay. Heroes, our bots are like evolving and learning. After each battle, they get smarter, and after that you can sell it for higher price in the afterwards market. And you can own the arena. Players can own our arena, so they are owners of it, and you can own the boss as well. So the boss will compete against our bots. You can own that boss as well and earn some revenue and tokens. So the main revenue model is that from NFT sales. That is a pretty huge market. Royalties after NFT, you sell your NFT, then the player buy that NFT, and if he sell it afterwards, we will earn some royalties from each sale that will happen after the first sale. So we will implement betting mode, commission. You can bet on every bot that will go into arena. You can bet it on that with some money, and we will earn some commission. So premium, monthly premium that you can buy and get extra bonuses. Items in the game purchase, you can buy some extra things and for real money. So, and ads, especially the ads, that is the biggest market actually, where you can profit money monthly and daily and hourly. So, our team, basically we met in logistics in one company. I'm still working in next company, which is LIAA Latvia, and I'm a crypto enthusiast for 6 years. We have Artur Zldovs is the second guy who is the main architect of that, and we have some sales team and community manager, and Maksims is a blockchain developer, and he can make everything work. So we are looking for $50,000 to $70,000 basically for marketing purpose and a little bit, not a little bit, but future game development and marketing purpose. So the first target is to sell our NFT collection, what we have rendered, and for that price, for that Solana, and about 900 or $45,000, it can happen. And this I want to show you. Yes, the roadmap. Currently we are at phase 2, and we have to build community. And after that, we will release the alpha game for our community. What we will sell those NFTs, so they will be able to test our alpha game. So I will show you a little video. It's actually interesting to watch it because the whole time you watch those AI bots, they get smarter and think a lot of ways to go outside the arena. Then they come back and then they fight, and all the times.
I will ask you also to switch your
head to this side.
There.
Okay.
We're switching to that screen for viewing. The people online that having this screen shared with them.
Yeah, good. So, thank you for.
How big is your community now?
We have 5,600 Twitter followers, but half of them is like bots, I think so. But we have like 200 real persons that is following us.
Is the game full already?
No, the game is in beta phase or something like that, but we are not releasing anything of it.
And you only have one developer working on it?
2 at this point. But one developer made all that you see on the screen. And the other developer programmer who is working now in full-time job, he's the master who can put the blockchain wallet to our homepage, and then you can through that blockchain wallet you will deploy the bot in the game. And we are planning to make some extra games in the future, and you can use these NFT bots to another games as well.
So were there actually players that have played the game in the alpha version or something? Do you have any kind of a measured metrics from the kind of these alpha version users?
No, we have to sell the NFTs to users, and then they will have the chance to test it. Because we need to go through. If we don't give those players that access to NFTs, we can't test the game for the live players. Because it's like a circle like that. Yes.
What platform you use for release? Planning to use for release the game?
Platform at this point it is Solana.
Is it mobile? Is it PC? Is it?
At the first it will be PC game, but after that we will use a mobile version as well.
But it's actually very good that he's building it in Solana, which is like, one of the biggest platforms on which everything is built. And then if you're connecting also to the coins that are available, they're like well established, like Ethereum and everything, which means it gives him more exposure. Because in general, the gaming industry year by year is growing. And because there's not a lot of competition for him now, there's only 2 very big competitors and the rest are still like watching the market.
There is a little bit more competition actually. I just mentioned 2, but one is really related to our project. But the competition is growing, and there is a lot more projects that they are going to Metaverse, and you can put the 3D glasses and surf all day in the game or something. But we are targeting a little bit different level. So the ownage and the AI technology you can be a trainer of your NFT item. So it is a little bit different.
So it's more interaction in developing the story within the game, but they're building it on the blockchain platform instead of a typical game, and that's what I mean, that the competition is not so dense as you might assume if you think about the general video game.
Yeah.
Which platform are you using for the NFTs?
We try to get to Magic Eden, but it is not an easy job. So if we will grow our community, we will use our own homepage and sell for our community. But if we will grow community, then they will go get into Magic Eden. So the target is to get in Magic Eden. But afterwards, we can sell it in our community by ourselves. It's
so basically sourcing the funds not in order to market the product, but to be with the community, market the NFTs within the community, sell the NFTs, and then raise the money.
Yeah, because after that sell, the project will go with us. So we have to bring our heads above the water, because it's really difficult, nowadays without the funding to get that. It's a long time. We have to go and search and so.
What is the share you provide for this 50-70K?
It will be private conversation, but I think we are thinking about 10x after the all that can happen. We can give you a 10x after that. I think.
So you don't provide a share specifically the product, but some kind of aids after.
No, we can negotiate that private. So that is not.
For how long do you think this 70K will be spent? When you will be needing a next round?
It will be spent actually. There is not. I have not measured that, but at this stage, I have invested about some money and some kebabs from Maksims, that is in School Street, and we haven't spent a lot of money on this, so that is like hobby. So, but those 70,000, I can't say the exact time, but I think half a year it will be good.
For next stage.
Yes, but if we will go through this stage, we don't need the next stage.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yes.
Not hopefully, but you will do it.
Yes.
Be confident, be persuasive. Thank you for your presentation. I want to emphasize that Ivars and his team is not looking for a big funding because they want to still keep their independence and they want to invest this money in ads and marketing and other activities that help them grow the community. So that's why they're not saying, okay, 200K or something. But this is very true that as much as you're going to invest in the project, as fast it will grow. I want to invite the next startup on the stage, which is related to parking. Airbnb for parking. Maksims? And colleague?
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Davor Sakmens.
And my name is Maksims. We are from Riga, and our company is Space for Parking.
And in simple words, Space for Parking is Airbnb for parking. And we offer parking reservation option for drivers looking to find and pre-book parking. The app also allows anyone with privately owned space to rent out their parking space for drivers looking to find it.
People in Riga now overpay for expensive parking spaces on the street or spend a ton of time and fuel to find a parking space far from where they need to. They have no idea what time they need to go because they don't know how quickly they will find a parking space. We have interviewed our potential clients and also almost of them have difficulties with parking in Riga. But they think that our app will help them. And also we are speaking with private pay car parking owners, and they also have interested in our project.
We live in 21st century. We should not have to worry whether we'll find a parking spot and be on time. We shouldn't look for parking driving around because fuel nowadays is really expensive, and we thought we have to come up with a solution. And our solution is to connect people who own private parking somewhere in Riga to people who are looking for a place to park. And our business model is C2C, client to client, and we are planning on making money by taking 20% from each transaction. So we act as intermediary between people who are renting out their spaces and people who are wanting to rent a space.
Yes, on the screen you can see the global parking management market size. In 2020 it was 3.5 billion, and the expected average growth rate is 7.4%. We are planning on marketing through Google and Facebook ads, and also by paying news portals for our startup review. And our target market in Riga is 220,000 drivers, and we are planning on having 2,000 users, it means drivers, in 2 years in Riga alone. And also we plan to expand to all Baltic countries of total market size of 1,086,000 drivers.
Our biggest competitors in Riga are Riga Statics with over 6,000 parking spaces, Europark with approximately 8,500 parking spaces, and City Park Latvia with a little bit over 2,000 parking spaces. But neither one of those companies offers service where people can rent out their spaces and drivers can pre-book and find parking. And on a global scale, our competitor is Parkweek, which currently is not operating in our targeted market. And of course, indirect competitors are public transport, electric scooters, and bicycles. And now a little bit more about our team, about us. I am entrepreneurship and management student at Riga Technical University. I have worked in agriculture sector and as an accountant in chemicals company.
And I'm also an entrepreneurship and management student in Riga Technical University, and I have experience in artificial intelligence learning. And about programmer, we are looking a programmer in Riga Technical University, and currently we are in talks with people who can develop the web.
and we are looking for 100,000 euro investment, and we are planning on spending it on marketing and actual app development. We are planning on breaking even in the third quarter in the second year and making more than 80,000 profit in the third year, and increasing it in a fourth by expanding into other Baltic countries. So thank you for listening. Does anybody have any questions? Yes.
I guess this is a kind of two-sided marketplace are very much on the kind of this critical mass type of things. What do you think? What's the kind of a size of the critical mass of users and parking spaces you need to sort of get things running actually, and how much does it cost?
Sorry, I didn't quite understood.
So you need a certain amount of users and you need a certain amount of parking spaces in order to sort of have a marketplace. So how much does it cost? How much parking spaces and how much users you need to start that kind of a cycle to work?
Yes, in order to start this cycle, we're actually talking to like smaller private parking, paid parking spaces, so we can get them to work with us. So we would start with not with like private, like people, let's say people who owns a house and they want to rent their parking, maybe garage for parking. But we first we are going to work with parking spaces that are little ones that are not acquired by bigger companies like Europark, Seapark, etc.
So how many spaces you need?
Right now I would not like to make number on top of my head.
I think it is equal for the active users quantity. If we have 500 active users, we need actually 500 places.
Well, maybe that goes also too far. I also kind of was thinking of unit economics. How much does it cost to get a parking space into your system, and how much does it cost to get the user, and then how long it takes to sort of get that cost covered by the parking fees and the kind of a provision that you get.
So right now in center of Riga, parking for 1 hour costs €2. So let's say if somebody want to leave the car in a center in Riga for a full working day, I mean 8 hours, it costs them €16. We are planning that we could offer the half the price. We could offer the half the price, yeah. That's bigger companies offer.
Sorry. I think in your business model, it's really small revenues. Basically, you're calculating to charge a customer €8 per day, which you're charging 20% out of this, €1.6. So even with 2,000 customers, we will do only 3.2 thousand euros per month.
But we're planning on making.
Yeah, and people are not people that's coming for 8 hours a day work. They usually rent some outfit or something like that. They pay between 50 to 100 euros per month.
Yeah, we're planning on making membership fees as well. That's why we are now currently in talks with these small parking companies which are interested in our project. Yeah.
You said that you are planning to go C2C, yes, if I understand right. How are you planning to solve that the persons that give the parking spots should be registered when they're getting regular incomes? How are you planning to solve that?
Payment system, we're planning on paying the people that rent out their parking spaces once a month. So we for 12 months we are keeping the money, and then at the end of the month we are transferring to the person.
Yeah, of course, and that's the point. If they get every month, if they get money like income from your company, they need to be registered.
Yes,
persons will get income. How are you planning to solve that?
Yes, now we have conversation with the park owner, and we are looking for the best solution of this problem. But we're thinking that we will pay that much money that owner have get, and not clear. Taxes, yes, thank you. And taxes will be on him. He will pay the taxes.
Who will pay the taxes?
Owner, park owner.
Okay, so they will be registered as saimnieks kategorijas veicēji, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, have you estimated the total amount maybe of parking places, like in this center of Riga? Of course, it is can be expanded, but I think the problem is in the exactly center. Yeah. So how many there are parking places of this small parking owners in the center of Riga, around approximately?
Currently, actually, before this project, we actually walked around in Riga center and we went person to person we went to parking lots and we talked to the owners, and this would be my guess. I think it would be around 100 to 50.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Do we have questions more online or in person here? I don't see. So thank you guys, thank you very much. Thank you. All these students that are already making good progress. But you know what, you all are missing time by time. Everybody at home and for startups and bigger businesses, tech solutions, reliable tech guys who stay with you, and they even come earlier to hold your hand. And that's why I want to ask the last startup today to perform with Ivanovs and colleague also presenting. You're going to present together?
Yes, we will do it
So
together.
you have like a conversation interaction just to cool down
We'll
the
see.
pressure. But please involve the auditory as well, if you can.
Sure.
And meanwhile, when we will be setting up the presentation, slide first.
And my name is Vladimirs, and we are two co-founders, and there is also a third co-founder, Taras. And our solution startup is actually solving the problem that we have seen today and what many startups also need. Competitive resources, IT resources. So our company is one-stop shop for companies to get these resources. And can we have a short video? Let's try the IT competence. Basically, that's a very quick explanation of our business model. Thank you. 30 seconds. And this is coming because of our backgrounds. All three founders have backgrounds in IT, plus providing companies with outsourced, nearshore, reliable resources. I was working for Tele2 and Tele2, making their shared operations work. Oļegs, you have been
in DHL, new fintech startups as well, and Igors drone fabrica, manufacturer for the drones from here.
Yeah, and Taras was CEO for Opus Capita, and then helped. And this is why we can say that really our competence allows us to provide this IT recruitment and delivering full cycle recruitment services, including technical interviewing, technical testing. And what's also important that usually all the startups don't have fixed need for the same specialists all the time. It's usually for project-based. And we can solve this issue that we provide these specialists when they are needed. So it's smart solution for projects. And in order to provide scale of operations, we use our competence of building shared operations. So these same resources can provide services to multiple companies. And usual typical challenges that all IT companies have are these ones, like need is fluctuating and there are peaks, they are difficult specialists to find IT people, and
sometimes they're also very expensive and you don't need them as a full-time employee. So therefore it makes sense to rent it from someone if someone desires, and better if it's not some Accenture or some other company with high bills, but directly not overpaying to someone else. And of course, if you try to employ someone, then you need to get this onboarding, employ HR, put them into the systems, grant all the accesses and so on. Sometimes it's more easy to put someone in charge of that who is outside the organization to make it happen faster.
Mm-hmm. And usual customers have challenges to evaluate technical skills, because some technical skills are very specific and you need specific people to check it, and they are very busy already. And this is why we came with these 4 things that make our proposition, like project-based services, recruitment, outstaffing, and shared services. And as I told, our management team comes with a good understanding of IT industry, and also we work for Nordic companies. That's why in our ambition we see for our expansion Nordic market as a next step. And we already work on the market. We are not the first year in operations. These are list of paying customers. So we have a branch in Sweden, and these customers have already using our services. And I would ask our CFO, Oļegs, to continue with this.
Yeah, so Vladimir explained quite well and very fast. I hope that you got all the figures out there and key points. So why we're here? We're actually looking for the investor, or in the perfect world, investor and partner who will be actively supporting us in our journey towards the expansion into the Scandinavia, and also here, why not? We're just started in doing operations in Poland as well, so it's showing how eager we are to get the new market. So we offer our shares against an effort in the perfect world, but against the money as well. Also, not bad. What we'll do with that? Why we need that? So with our internal resources, with operational capital, we are able to sustain our current business model, plus have a little bit of growth, of course, because our business is human related, and humans are like expensive, I would say, especially in IT when we're talking about that. So we would like to ramp up our business model from Latvia to Scandinavia. For that purpose, we need to be present out there. So we need to have additional staff over there, not only recruiters, because we have recruiters here who would like to employ our local staff and our local model to provide very cost-effective recruitment and outstaffing solutions in Scandinavia, specifically in Sweden. And we would like also to build, use the technologies to build understood and well-working tool for optimizing recruitment as a first step in the recruitment and outstaffing and outsourcing. Because anyway, we're talking about the competences. So therefore, we would like to bring to the market this gateway that would connect different systems in the market, like a Monster Group, like Bravura. We have CVLB here in Latvia, connected to us, to our agency, and to be able to provide our customers with a much bigger value that they can, sticking to some specific provider for that service. So therefore, this is our target and our ambition.
What's your current revenue?
Oh, there is another slide, but I think it was. What we had I think it was here. The pre-COVID times, it was around 1 million euro, 900,000, and therefore, during the COVID times, all the recruitment market was down about 60%. So it was also valid for us. So it was about 500,000 in Latvia, right? Yeah. And yes, it is pretty. Yes, of course. Thank you. And right now we're around 600,000 and going up. So we had hard times. We invested even actually more to be able to survive and fight the other rivals. In Sweden, we had around 1 million SEK, Swedish crowns. Before COVID, so then it dropped, and right now we are moving to be around 600,000 SEK. Yeah. So we have right now one consultant over there and no staff. So we have optimized it during the COVID time so that all our overheads are actually here.
What's the size of your staff here?
At the moment.
But what is the size of your staff here? Because you said you can manage outstaffing, so I assume you got some experts in the company.
I take it?
Yeah.
So we have in our office so-called 3 employees who are responsible for the marketing and sales on one hand, and another part is the administration. So there are 3 of us who are also working actively in the company, and we have other 7 people who are working with our clients, I mean the developers, who we are renting out in the outstaffing model. So the size of the office is small enough to be cost efficient, and it has this additional opportunities. But one thing to mention that we are working also with the remote recruiters from other regions. Before this year, there were more in the CIS region, and after February, they became less, I would say. So we are now turning with our face more to the Poland and Sweden and more Latvia to have more remote personnel.
Sorry, what is you mentioned some technical solution that you use. What kind of technical solution do you use to compete with other recruitment or staffing agencies?
Mm-hmm. We started with a solution for our operations that is Team Tailor, which is one of top solutions in the market. So in order to be efficient ourselves, but we quickly found an opportunity that our customers want more information, more data, and that's what we are going to build.
Yeah, basically we have operational system at the moment, and we have quite well established manual system, I would say Excel-based more or less, to communicate with our customers, because we have quite many, around 80 vacancies at the moment, and it requires quite high intensity of communication with the customers. So what we would like to develop more, actually, on top of our operational system, is actually the gateway how our customers can receive information from us and from our vendors, I would say, because we're working with the other freelance recruiters about the situation, like what is the status, how many we have, are more coming, and things like that. If we continue the manual model, it's not really scalable, so therefore it would require additional staff to do this administration work, as we call it, which would make the cost higher. So we would like more automated and put it as a unique proposition to our customers.
Your financial models, it is you just make this onboarding and get the fees for that, or it is like long-term relationships with your customers?
All of the customers long-term, actually. It was a very rare case when it was just one-time request, like we need this guy, because we are, the three of us are coming also from the industry, and more or less every CIO or CTO found value to discuss their projects with us, which we're bringing other requests in future. Because we are mainly not working with the HR, but with CIOs and CTOs, because we're talking about the projects, the competences, so very specific things.
Okay, thanks.
If Vladimir has something to add.
I think if there is one more question, we can please name if no.
Maybe online?
Any question online? No?
34.
I will say thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
And I will ask the chairman.
Thank you. We have an old good tradition in LatBAN to give some value to startup founders right after the pitch session. That's why we are asking our beloved guest, Denis Chavel, Chief Investment Officer in Eglis Venture Capital Fund, to make some notes briefly about what was notable today, who were excellent and who was just awesome. So Denis, the stage is yours, but for 2 minutes maximum.
Thank you, Kirill. Thank you, everyone. My name is Denis. I'm kind of new player on this market, but hopefully for a long time. And I would like to thank the organizers for bringing us all here. And today we have a unique situation when for each startup we have at least 2 venture funds. So it will be funny to play a small game, which is called what the startup was trying to say against what investors heard actually. So I will share what I heard from the presentations one by one. The Sapropel story, actually interesting product. Good that the company has already some sales, but I didn't hear the numbers, monthly sales or anything, and I didn't understand what the company strategy and what it actually wants to finance with.
It was 750K per year.
It's that's what I heard. I mean, maybe there were there are other opinions for sure. The company, which is providing software solution for retail stores. This is very good and very hot story, and actually very interesting product. And I think that at some point machine learning will be used at all levels. And we have similar project in our portfolio. So this is a story actually worth paying attention to, in my opinion. Also, the next story is the company which is making equipment for cleaning machines is already I guess, the most hot startup here, and the company made very good presentation in Vilnius too. I think it collected already the requested amount of money and going forward very well. And I think what I didn't see in the presentation is whether they have actually solution for, I see they have hardware, they have some software to manage this hardware, but I didn't see ERP system which helps users to use these machines better. If they have this in place, then this is also a very good startup, and they have very good prospects. The game story, very interesting, very hot market, based on requested amount and based on what the company wants to do. It's a bit early stage by now, but potentially I think it can grow very well. The parking story, I think very early, and a lot of work to do, and a lot of market research, and a lot of everything. But go ahead, guys. You are at the very beginning of your way, and also the HR story. Maybe not very venture project, but still the market needs IT specialists, and definitely if you find a way how to help those traditional markets, Eastern European specialists come here and find their employers, it will be some of your competitive advantage. So thank you everyone, thank you the organizers, and hope to see you later.
That's all, folks.
That's it.